Hey everybody, I am super excited today. We are back with our favorite local estate attorney, Chris Small. He has CMS Law Firm here in Kirkland. And today we are talking about a fun topic. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Talking about why not to put your kids on a deed. So Chris, take it away. He brought up this topic and I'm actually going to learn too.
Yeah. Okay, great. So first of all, thanks for having me back. Really appreciate it. Love making these videos and doing these things. So that's super cool. All right. So we get calls about this pretty frequently. A lot of the times people think it's the easiest way to transfer the house to their kids or wherever they want it to go. Sometimes it's for they think it's a easy way to avoid or to qualify for Medicaid and do things like that. It's just not a good idea for any reason, basically. Here's why. Number one, let's start with taxes. Okay. So when you die and you give your house to anyone, you get what's called a step up in tax basis. Okay. So whatever you bought the property for is your tax basis. If you sell the property, any appreciation that you see on the property, you're going to pay some capital gains tax on, sort of, without the sort of different exemptions and things like that. But the tax basis is important. If you give your property to your kids, they are going to take the property with your original tax basis. So if you bought it at 100K and now it's $1 million, they're going to take it at 100K. So if they sell it, they are going to pay tax on the $900,000 of appreciation. If you give them the house after you die, they get what's called a step up in tax basis to today's value. So instead of taking it with a tax basis of 100,000, they are now going to take it with a tax basis of $1 million. They're only going to pay tax on the appreciation from $1 million up. Okay. So when you gift things, you give your tax basis. That can be a problem, right? Because we're talking about 20% at, around 20% tax. That's a lot. Let's talk about avoiding probate. Some people give their house to avoid probate. There is something that you can do on your house called a transfer on death deed that is basically a beneficiary designation for your house. So if you execute that and record it, when you die, your house automatically goes to whomever you've named in the deed. No need for probate, no need for anything. They just get it, and they get that step up in tax basis that we just talked about. Another reason that's not a great idea to give your house to your kids is because once you give them the house, they can kind of do whatever they want with it. They can sell it. They can take a bunch of loans against it. They can kick you out of it. I mean, they can literally do anything that they want. So you're sort of taking a chance that something bad could happen. The other thing, and we're going to sort of go like a little morbid here real quick. The other thing that they can do is they could die. So if you give your house to your kids or your child, and then the child dies and they have a will and everything goes to somebody else, let's say their spouse, then the house is going to go to the spouse and the spouse can do whatever they want with it. They can sell it. They can do whatever. So you lose a lot of control when you give up the house. The other thing when it comes to control is when you put your kids, or you give the house to your kids, if they would be involved in any lawsuits, bankruptcy, anything like that, that house is going to be considered their asset and is going to be subject to all of those different sort of bad things. So that's the quick and dirty version why you should not give your house to your kids.
And that's deeding to the kids. So I guess what would the death transfer be the best, or would it be?
So the answer is it depends. So transfer on death deed is a good idea if you have, I would say, one, maybe two people that you want to give the house to. If you give it to, because the house will just be transferred to them in those equal shares.
Right.
So if you have three people that own one house and one wants to sell it and two don't, then we kind of have a problem. So if you're only going to give it to one, or everybody is in agreement on what to do with the house, transfer on death deed is a great option. It's super easy, super cheap to sort of execute. It's a great option. if you have more people and you want to give people the ability to sort of finance and buy out the other people, in those cases, we'll usually put it into a trust. And then in the trust, we have specific language that says like, okay, once let's say the parents die, then we're going to get an appraisal on the house. We're going to see what the value is. We're going to give everybody 30 days to put in a bid, what their best price is. Then they're going to have to demonstrate that they have financing. And then you can sort of, it gives people concrete steps to follow. So you don't have one of your, unruly brothers going, I'm going to buy the house. I just got to put the financing together. And they say that for years, and nothing's happening. So, yeah. So it just gives like some specific directions on what to do. So that's where you would kind of consider doing a trust if you're going to give your house, or if you just want to give it and just keep it in the family, you would do a trust as well, usually. So.
Right. And we can go back to one of our other videos and learn about how to avoid probate, and it talks about the trusts and a little bit of the transfer as well. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, everybody go follow, if you haven't already, at the Christopher Small. He has so many helpful and informative videos, and pretty soon you're going to be like, why? I'm a lawyer, essentially.
That's right. You will learn everything you need to know for sure.
Exactly. Well, we're excited. I'm sure we're going to think of another great topic soon. And again, at the Christopher Small, but thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.